Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul John, and my presentation is going to be on software development approaches. Um, that's Agile. So, this discussion is for CIS 601 System Analysis and Design. Hope you guys enjoy this presentation. So, how does Agile development methodology affect project outcomes? So it is essential for project management and then development teams to choose the most suitable software development methodology in order to manage a project efficiently. So this really helps to manage software and to make it work um, like the way it's supposed to work and not with some mistakes or some errors. So each approach has its own set of benefits and drawbacks to consider. So the following is a comparison of the most prevalent software development methodologies and the differences between them. So on this slide, I'm going to be talking about the diagram and then how it works. So um, first of all, I'm going to start with the Agile development methodology. So when adding new features, team employ agile development to reduce risks. That's there is a bugs, cost overruns, and changing needs. So in all agile techniques, teams create software in iterations that add new features incrementally. So Scrum, Crystal Extreme Programming, XP, a feature-driven development and all example of agile development methodologies. So this diagram shows you a very unique way that the agile development methodology works. So you see, if we have the plan, we have a collaborate, and then we have deliver. So you plan it, just like in every other thing that we do in life. We first plan, and then we collaborate, and then we deliver, which is the the results. And then we also get a feedback, which is a daily review. So we need to get the feedback to know if what we're doing, if we're doing it right, or if um, if we need any improvement. So feedback is always good in every um, any software development or anything that we actually want to achieve in life. Feedback is really, really necessary. So I'm going to be talking about the advantage and the disadvantage of agile development methodology. Um, just like in every software development, any program that we write, anything have advantage and disadvantage. I could tell you that there's nothing that you could just say is only uh, advantage. No, everything have advantage and everything have a disadvantage. So it's not different from every other thing that you know. So I'm going to be talking about the advantage and then the disadvantage. So the advantage is the advantages of agile software development include that software may be released in iterations. And on the other hand, we have the disadvantage. So given the fact that agile development is focused on real-time communication, New users often lack the documentation they need to get up and running quickly. And then we have a iterative release boosts efficiency by allowing teams to detect and fix problems as they arise more rapidly. And on the other hand, we have the disadvantage is it is necessary for their consumers to devote a large amount of time to them, and their developers must finish each feature in each iteration. And then another advantage is they also let customers to reap the benefits of software sooner by introducing incremental improvements over time. So I'll tell you what, the advantage is always way um, bigger than the disadvantage. So there's more advantage than the disadvantage. So this is the agile development methodology, advantage and disadvantage. Thank you. Acknowledge uncertainty. Um, I want to say something. Just like in everything that we do um, in life, we always acknowledge that we're not gonna have a smooth ride all the time. There may be a time when the road is gonna be bumpy. There may be a time when the road is gonna be rough. Uh, there may be a time when things are gonna get uh, really, really bad. So uh, that's that's what I'm talking about when I say acknowledge uncertainty. So it is accepted in agile development that we will not know everything about the project before we begin it. And because we're not going to know everything about uh, the project before we begin, that's why we should expect uh, some uncertain circumstances. So the next one say stage gate and waterfall approaches need requirements to complete before anybody writes a single line of code. Um, this means we may discover that a certain technology solution doesn't meet customer needs, or that an other issue exists that has to be addressed. So before settling on a solution, you may use agile principles to explore and experiment. So on this slide, it says a faster review cycles. And then on the right hand side, you can see the diagram that's it to do, in progress, and then done. So rapid iteration and continuous evaluation are essential to incorporate new results and evaluate current efforts. Determining the number of work in progress is a common feature of most agile methodologies. Kanban. Follow up with customers or projects such as internal services teams or stakeholders teams. Um, it's good to follow up to know how we're doing, um, to know if we need any improvement, to know how they felt about the product. So the next one says one of the most prevalent challenges associated with waterfall approaches is the release of a private product that no one wants after a closed development cycle of 6 to 9 months. increased flexibility in the release of new features. As a result of the uh, focus on delivering functional software in time boxed or effort boxed rounds of development, the organization has more flexibility in determining when the product should be made available to end users. Traditionally, releases take place when all planned work has been finished, or even worse, when stakeholders agree on a release date, regardless of how polished the actual work has been completed. Agile approaches, on the other hand, um, provide sufficient capabilities. Work that is done upfront is reduced. Prior to agile development, product specs attempted to cover and record almost all aspects of a product's design and development. PRDs and specs of 50 pages or more were not uncommon, detailing explicit deliverables um, that developers would use as checklists to create. Instead, we focus on identifying and prioritizing difficulties, working with our developers to design, explain, and change work, and expending just enough effort to move a product or project ahead. Inquiry, documentation, and contract negotiating costs are contrary to the manifesto's essential objectives. So this is the summary of my presentation. So everything that I've talked about in this presentation, um, this is just summarizing everything. So agile development is a process in which objectives and success criteria are specified in smaller increments rather than being completed in one continuous stream from beginning to end. The agility of the agile technique enables project teams to react rapidly to customer input and to continually improve their products. Agile minimizes costs and time to market while simultaneously improving application quality and customer satisfaction. And this is the last slide for my presentation. This is just my references where I got all the things that I talked about, like where I got my research, where I got uh, my ideas about my presentation. So you could see Abraham Singh, P. Salo, we have Livari J, and Huseman, 2007, which is the relationship between organizational culture and the deployment of systems development methodologies. And then we have Nairaju V. Matthew, an empirical investigation of e-government services. And then we have Corman M. Diabo, and then some other people, Lansing, Fielder, Gerossi, Trekkery, McCarthy, hybrid software development approaches in practice, a European perspective, IEEE software, I hope you enjoyed my presentation. If you have any question, um, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you. Have a nice day.